Nada Yoga helps us connect with the sound of wellness. We call it as a swast, swa-ast. You start to get established in the self. And swast and getting established in self has the same meaning. But this swast is also called as good health, wellness. For any ill person, it takes us to the wellness. So what I have seen is, it has helped people like diabetes, arthritis, blood pressure, knee pain, back pain, all kind of mental illness, to the extent the life-threatening illness like cancer and many other. We have helped many autoimmune diseases, fibromyalgia, the people in coma we have helped. Just with the sound, yes. Because the sound is always there. Only thing is, I need to learn how to bring it into a kind of a order. That's it. You need not to get into a kind of a practice. You do not do any kind of a strenuous exercises. After the chakra activation, after the kundalini, the nada happens automatically.
Oh, so Nada Yoga is a later stage.
Nada Yoga is a later stage and you don't have to get into chakra for that matter. In Nada Yoga, you start to become aware of every emotion of yours. You become aware of every voice tone of yours, and you understand this is the voice tone, something which will create imbalance in me. You understand how to control it, and this is the most effortless way. But somehow we are taught to get into struggle. Struggle is something we are told, we are programmed to.
Namaskar. Hi, hello, I am Prajakta Datar. I'm an Indian actress and also yoga teacher. So I'm into my yoga journey past 3 to 4 years and I'm absolutely in love with that journey. When I'm on this journey, after committing to asana, now I'm feeling like I'm getting attracted to sound. And I don't know why this happened to me, but when I got attracted to sound, I searched on internet about it and I came across this foundation, Bodha Marga Foundation. And I met Mr. Rivesh Vade, who is actually a Nada Yogi Vibhushri. And right now in this podcast, we are talking about Nada Yoga. What is Nada Yoga? And I myself am very curious about it. So I would like to take all of you to this journey along with me and along with Vibhushri. Hello Vibhushri.
Namaste.
Namaste, welcome to this podcast.
Thank you.
And Vibhushri, my very first question is a very basic, simple question, that what is Nada Yoga?
Well, as we all understand, the yoga is connecting with our own self, or connecting with the universal consciousness. This is what the yoga is. There are various ways to connect with the self. However, the sound, we are all very much connected with the sound. Using sound and vibrations to connect ourselves is called Nada Yoga. So for that we can utilize various sounds, the external sounds and the internal sounds. Largely it takes us towards the internal sounds because most of the time we are connected with the external sounds. From external sounds it leads us to the internal sound. That is what the Nada Yoga is.
Vibhushri, why anyone should do any type of yoga? I would like to know that.
Well, the yoga brings balance in mind and the body, as you must be aware of. So, and at the same time, for that matter, we do different asanas and different things are there to get into the yoga. So, after the asanas of few years, the Nada Yoga gets activated. The connection starts to happen. Okay. And with specifically, we can begin with Nada Yoga directly too. The Nada Yoga is basically bringing balance in mind, in body, and connect with our soul very effortlessly with the power of sound. So we help ourselves connect with the sound. We all are connected with the sound to a great extent. Our entire body is sound. All emotions are sound. Right? So everything is sound. So connecting with this sound helps us connect with the divine. Yes. So for that matter, any yoga is nothing but the yuj, union. Yuj is Sanskrit word and union is English word. So union with whom? Union with ourself, with our own self. Or for that matter, as we speak, the union with the universal consciousness. We are all are one, the oneness. So to experience the oneness in this very life, we get into the yoga. As I told you, there are various ways. mainly what people know about the yoga asanas. Yes, that is one way. That helps us connect with our body first, and then with the breath, and then with the prana, and then with the sound. However, with the Nad Yoga, we directly starts with the sound. You need not to connect with everything. You need not to get into any other things for that matter. Anytime one can start just with the presence of a right person. He can activate the Nad, and then the Nad Yoga begins. It's that simple.
Vibhushri, this is very interesting to know how the Nada Yoga can get activated. So, my next question is, you are in this journey past 12 years. So, have you seen very dramatic changes in people's life as you are helping a lot of people with Nada Yoga?
Yes, if you say, as I told you, all the sounds are nothing but or I can tell you, all our emotions are nothing but the sound. And various sounds triggers the various emotions. So today, people are basically ill, or people are going through various physical challenges or mental challenges. It is all because of the emotional imbalance. And all this emotional imbalance creates various sounds. So ill people have different voice tone. The healthy person have a different voice tone. So what if we can do something where we can explore or expose the ill person to a healthy sound? And what if that person starts to resonate with the healthy sound? And is that possible for him to bring into the well-being? Yes, great possibility. So that is what the Nada Yoga does. Nada Yoga helps us connect with the sound of wellness. We call it as a swasth, swa-ast. You start to get established in the self. And swasth and getting established in self has the same meaning. But this swasth is also called as good health, wellness, right? So for any ill person, it takes us to the wellness. So what I have seen is, it has helped people like diabetes, arthritis, blood pressure, knee pain, back pain, all kind of mental illness, to the extent the life-threatening illness like cancer and many other. We have helped many autoimmune diseases, fibromyalgia, the people in coma we have helped, just with the sound, yes. So, and it has been said, the sound is a new medicine. It's not a new medicine, it's the very old scriptural knowledge what we have. However, in between there was a gap, but yes, soon it will be in the trend. After yoga, the sound will be the next.
Wow,
Yes.
It is really nice to hear this. I would like to just share one of my doctor friend who is an eye specialist. So she has learned some Reiki, and now she is helping her patients with that. So my question is, for Nada Yoga, I mean, what is the tool? How do you use that to cure the patients?
There is no tool. There is just the sound. See, we are always exposed to sound, aren't we?
Yeah.
We are always. You see, wherever we go, there is always a sound. Even if we are sitting in a room, there is a sound of this room too. The sound of like a intense, or what we say, a kind of high-pitched sound. Sometimes we start to hear, like something like that. So the sound is always there. So the same sound we can use. From external sound we can go within, and we can start to see that there are various sounds inside of us.
Okay.
So the tool is just the sound, that's it. My heart has a sound or not? My blood flow has a sound or not?
Wow. Yes.
Right. So everything has a sound. Only thing is, like I'm sitting in a old car, it is making huge noise though, but after a while I become comfortable with the whatever noise it makes. Similarly, with my body also, it is making huge noises. After a while, it becomes very natural to me. Is it not? So simply, basically, everywhere there is a sound. The sound of illness and also the sound of wellness. And here, we are exposing ourselves to the sound of wellness. So, the yoga is what? Again, when you are getting into the asana, what you do? Your various activities you bring into a harmony, or you bring into the order. Now there are various frequencies and tones and the noise around. What if we can bring in order in a way? That order is nothing but the Nada Yoga again. So with Nad Yoga, we bring order and harmony.
So in yoga asana, how we align our body.
Yes.
So on that similar note, you're talking.
Yes. Similarly, we can align the various sounds in our body.
Okay.
So our body's entire body is nothing but the orchestra, playing different instruments, right? Like my kidney is a different instrument altogether. My lungs are different instruments altogether, and they are all playing a kind of a sound. What if, even if a single player play a wrong note, will that be, can we call it as a orchestra or a harmony? No, it's a disharmony. Similarly, if our body is not playing a right note or right sound, it can create a disharmony, or we can call it as a disease. So when I'm in a ease, my body is producing a good sound. Mainly we are in a pain, we are aware of our body. Otherwise we are not. When you are in a healthy body, it doesn't make you
Question.
Yes, exactly. We are always comfortable. And we call my body is sound. I'm in a sound body, in sound health, right?
Sound body, sound health, sound mind.
Sound mind, yes.
Yeah. So Vibhushri, as our motto or as Bodhamarga's motto is to reach to the various communities and people. So if a common man wants to connect to Nada Yoga, what should he do?
So you are asking how to connect with the air, right? So it is like asking how to connect with the water, how to connect with the very breath. So the breath, air, water, everything is available, and at the same time sound is also available everywhere. No matter what, where are you, the sound is always there. So first of all, connecting with the sound. Generally, we take sound as a part of entertainment most of the time, right?
Yes.
Or max to max for a communication purpose we use. However, it has a different purpose, as many which we have not explored so far.
So do you mean that common people, we should be aware about it more and more?
Absolutely. It starts with getting aware with the sound. Generally, we are aware of the external sounds. We are not aware of the internal sounds. Yes. So it starts with first becoming aware with the external sound, and then gradually the sounds which are closer to me, around my body, and then within my body, and then finally there is a sound. That sound helps us connect with the deeper self, the deeper stillness. Right? So that is how the journey begins. But so far, we have used sound for the entertainment purpose, max to max, or for the communication purpose. So for a general people, to get into the Nada Yoga, it is just simple as that. Just keep listening to the sound around. Be aware of the sound around. And this awareness, gradually, it has a capacity to get into the what we call, it starts to pierce into a kind of a zone where we are, the zone of unknown, we say. Generally, we are aware of the known sounds, but not the unknown sounds. And then gradually this awareness pierces a kind of a zone of a sound which is not audible. There are audible sounds too, and there are inaudible sounds too. The audible sound makes difference on us. However, the inaudible sounds bigger difference on us.
I'm feeling like it is a responsibility and a daily job to do. Is it so?
It's not a job. It starts to happen. That is what I said. When you get into doing it, it doesn't happen that way. It has to be activated first. And once it is activated, it's the natural phenomenon. It is not something which you do. It happens. In a right presence, in the person who is doing it, in the presence of a yogi, it starts to happen naturally. All of a sudden, you will start to hear the sound within. The one who has done enough practice of Nada Yoga, when I'm saying he has done, I mean he's been exposed to the Nada Yoga for quite a long time. In his or her presence, the sound starts to get activated automatically. It is something like that.
It feels very magical.
Yes, it is
even to
magical.
hear this
Yes,
knowledge.
yes. Because we all human beings are connected. We are not just individual islands. We are all connected. In everybody, like how we are formed, how we form our habits, how we form our emotions, we pick it up from various people. Right? We pick it up from the various people, various you can say the colleagues around, friends around, relatives around. We are product of some of all these people around us, right? Or you take your all 6 to 7 friends, the best friends, and if you see the average of their emotions or behavior, you are close to the average of their emotions and thought processes.
So they say association is important.
Very much. So what kind of associations you are going through? You are the product of that. Similarly, in Nad Yoga, to whom you are listening to, you become like that. To whom you are listening to regularly.
Okay. And Vibhushri, what is the short history of Nadi Yoga? I mean, where is the origin of Nadi Yoga?
Origin is in Shiv Samhita.
Okay.
Even if you have gone through Yoga Shikhopanishad, since you are a yoga practitioner, the second part of Yoga Shikhopanishad talks about the Nad Yoga. So it says, first become expert in asanas, make yourself capable or authority in asanas, and after that the Nad Yoga activates automatically. So for many, even after 10 to 12 years, it is not happening. This is what I have seen in general practice.
And why is that?
Because they are doing just asanas. They are not focusing on the internal aspects of the vibrations. When you are doing, for example, when you are bending down, what kind of vibrations you are noticing in your this part, in your
Lower
back or in the region. Okay. When you are doing Tadasana, what kind of vibrations you are noticing in your shoulders? Are you connected to this kind of subtle messages your body is giving? That subtle messages then starts to get into the deeper understanding, the deeper wisdom, and that is how it moves.
It's so beautiful.
So that is what the awareness is of great importance. So the awareness is not something which you can do forcefully. Even if somebody reads the power of present moment, or somebody reads number of books, how to get into the awareness, that doesn't happen that way. It happens with the right kind of association, what kind of people you are connected with. So that's where the yogi's role is, to bring the awareness in the yoga journey of the people's life.
So Vibhushri, you're on this journey past 12 years, and I remember before 12 years there was nothing about sound therapy or Nada Yoga that people were hearing. Then my question is, actually I would like to say you're the pioneer of this sound therapy or Nada Yoga. And I would like to ask that, is sound therapy or those bowls are connected to Nada Yoga? And what is the metal that they use in those bowls?
So the first of all, playing singing bowl is not the Nad Yoga.
Okay.
So when nobody was aware of what is singing bowl and what is Nad Yoga, I used to conduct various sound healing and sound bath sessions all over the Mumbai, all over the India, right? And I also used to teach Nad Yoga along with it. So I used to teach Nad Yoga and sound healing. So people started calling it as a Nad Yoga. So everywhere we see today, when they are playing sound bowl or singing bowl, they say it's a Nad Yoga. No, it's not Nad Yoga. We use singing bowls for external sound. The people, those who are used to listen to the external sounds and not getting relaxed, for them to get into a relaxation mode, we play singing bowl. Right? That is the external activity. It's a Bahiranga Yoga, you can say. But Nad Yoga is an Antaranga Yoga, where you go within and listen to your own voice tone, your own internal vibrations you are getting in touch with. So Nad Yoga is very internal. It's very subtle, right? And playing singing bowl is very gross. And we have helped as many people come out of illness, various illness, with the singing bowl. It plays a great role. So what are singing bowls? Singing bowls are nothing but with specific metals, instruments with specific metals. Ayurveda has a deep knowledge about it. Okay, we have produced in 2014 in Ayurveda Congress in London, where we have mentioned the specific metals play a sound of specific planets. And when we are exposed to the right planet and its frequency, we get into the harmony. And that's how we have helped number of people come out of various illness. We have helped number of cancer patients. And I would like to tell you, with singing bowl, in New York, there was a doctor called Michel Ganor. He used to heal cancer patients.
With the singing bowl?
With the singing bowl itself. However, the singing bowl has to be very genuine. Today, the singing bowls, since it is in a trending, so what people are they are buying or they are getting are not the genuine ones. And most of the singing bowls are producing same frequencies. It's not that. Singing bowls are very genuine and very powerful. They play very differently with different people. This is very surprising to know. For example, if I'm playing with you, it will sound differently. If I'm playing with different person, it will play differently. If I'm playing in one house, it will play differently. If I'm playing in different house, it will play differently. It means it resonates with or it tries to accommodate with the environment around. So singing bowl are very divine. However, I have seen the singing bowls out of India when I used to travel 10 to 11 years back. I used to see people were amazed, and people have a kind of a attraction towards, you say, the bowls with a specific frequencies, specific notes, but they are machine made. They are good to hear, but the most powerful singing bowls are handmade bowls, which are made with Ayurvedic processes. And Ayurveda uses only specific two metals and one metal which is not aware, which is not there described in the science. It is only available in the Himalaya. People call it as a Tibetan singing bowl, but it's a Himalayan singing bowl. And very few know about this secret. So the singing bowl has to be very genuine. It helps us uplift. And at the same time, it helps us come out of various illnesses. Even normal, even not the original bowls, still it will help us. You please understand, what if the bowl, singing bowls are original, genuinely made with the right person, it can bring a great transformation.
So what we do is we really buy it like wherever possible online. So we shouldn't do it,
We
right?
shouldn't do it, because from whom it is coming, that makes a huge difference. Okay. And this is not something to be sold. This is something to be received. Yes, this is something to be received because it comes with the great energy. You please understand, sound, singing bowl will not play same in same house. The moment it brings the harmony around, it plays differently. This is very something which I have realized. In 2014, I stopped doing sound healing. I started teaching for the self-healing, because people, they just got into healing others. However, working with the self is very important. If you see Buddha always carrying a singing bowl, people thought it is begging bowl, but no, it's not a begging bowl. It's the bowl which will bring into alignment. Wherever you find the disalignment, or whenever you find that my energy is not so in a harmony, you can play that bowl. And everyone should have their own singing bowl.
Okay.
Yes, because that starts to get resonated with your being. Whenever you feel that I'm not in a harmony, you just come in touch with that ball and play for yourself.
I mean, this is such an important information because right now the work is so hectic, people are in continuous stress. So this is like a remedy only what you're...
Yes, very much. And this is of my great interest, this. And since you asked, I can talk about this on and on. But yes, today we are here for the Nad Yoga. Yes.
Vibhushri, since I'm a yoga teacher, I take yoga mat, I do my yoga asana and everything. So I think yoga is Kriya Marg. So what is Nada Yoga?
As you said, The yoga asanas are kriya marg. You will have to do something.
Yeah.
And Nada yoga is total akriya marg. Akriya. You don't have to do anything. That's the very effortless way. Right, because the sound is always there. Only thing is, I need to learn how to bring it into a kind of a order. That's it. Once I do this, it's the very effortless way. You need not to get into a kind of a practice. You do not do any kind of a strenuous exercises. It is as simple as listening and the way you speak. The moment you change the way of listening, your speaking changes dramatically.
So it's not the other way around.
Yes, it is connected. Even other way around too. When you change the way you speak, you start to listen very differently. But however, it starts with the listening first. You please say in Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna was strong, right? But the Karna was stronger. And Karna represents our ear. So Arjuna is basically our fire to reach somewhere. But what you listen to? Karna was neutral. Karna was towards Pandava too, and Karna was towards Kaurava too. He was in middle and he was very strong. So how we bring our sounds into our higher alignment, because sounds are neutral. There are all kind of sound. There are tamasic sound too, there are sattvic sounds too, there are rajasic sound too, all kind of sound, right? We cannot ask someone to stop the sound if he or she is playing all sound of chaos.
Since you just right now mentioned about Arjuna and Karna, so about Mahabharata, even I think when the actual war starts, it starts with the sound.
Yes. For the Nadi Yogi, he or she need not to read Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita starts to happen in this very body. You start to very experience. And that is where in first chapter it is shown, like how Arjuna played the conch, all the Pandavas and all the Kauravas, they are represented with the shankh, the conch, right? And this conch is nothing but the instrument of sound frequencies. So that is how basically all my emotions are nothing but the Kauravas and Pandavas. And the fight between two is happening in this very body. And that is what in chapter number 13 in Bhagavad Gita it is said, Kshetra Kshetrajna. This is body. This body is the battlefield. Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre. Samaveta Yotsava. Mamaka Pandavashaiva Kim Kurveta Sanjaya. So the Sanjaya, by the capacity to notice, the capacity to become aware of our own vibration is called as Sanjaya. And from there the real Nadi Yoga begins. So till the time the Sanjaya has not come in my life, I am like a Dhritarashtra, the blind person. Right?
Yeah.
So even if I do yoga asanas, even if I do some trataka, even if I do n number of exercises, till the time the Sanjaya, the capacity to sense is called Sanjaya. And that gets activated. Right? So when you are doing yoga, after enough yoga practice, you become sensitive to your body. And that's where the Sanjaya gets activated. And that's where the real Nadi Yoga begins. And if Nadi Yoga begins, the real essence of Bhagavad Gita starts to appear in front of you, as if you have already read. Otherwise, no matter what, how much scriptures you read, it is of no use. So the first is a practice, and then everything, scriptures and everything is revealed to you like anything.
Wow. I'm feeling like this, everything is some kind of alignment.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Vibhushri, so I understand so far that how it is that this Nadi Yoga is connected with Bhagavad Gita and all. But as a common people, how we should use it or how we can use it in our daily life?
Yes, Bhagavad Gita is for daily life. It's the handbook. However, we have used it as a book of religious or the book of prayer, something like that. Let me tell you, it's like something like when I'm talking to someone. Okay. And if I'm in a depression, what kind of sound I'll be producing through my voice tone.
Very depressing sound.
Very depressing sound. So with the depressing sound, how many people will connect? Or if I'm irritated, how the people will connect? If I have a a very dull mood, how people will connect? Right? So, Nadi Yoga, if you say, if I become aware of my voice tone, in Nadi Yoga, you start to become aware of every emotion of yours. You become aware of every voice tone of yours, and you understand this is the voice tone, something which will create imbalance in me. You understand how to control it. And the control happens automatically. You don't control it. It happens automatically. In your awareness, the intensity of depression goes down. In your awareness, the intensity of your bad tones goes down. And automatically, whatever you will speak will help connect with the other. Right? Otherwise, we are always disconnected. We try to connect, but we get disconnected. So that's where the relationship is in challenge today. And all the illnesses are because of the challenges in the relationship, because the relationship issue is nothing but the overthinking. And overthinking happens because of number of tones, number of imbalance in your voice creates the chaos, and that chaos creates the overthinking. Overthinking brings issues in the relationship. Overthinking brings a kind of a imbalance in your voice tone. Everything is connected. If your voice tone is imbalanced, there is a overthinking. If the imbalance in voice tone, the relationship issue. Now you only tell me why there are so much of fights in the families. Because of the tone of voice. It is not because of what they speak. It is the tone of voice. And from where this tone of voice is coming? From within, right?
Within.
So if I become aware of these tones, will my relationship possibly improve?
Yes.
Or no?
I feel so.
Yes, definitely. So that is what it is required. For daily life, it is very required for me to become aware of my voice tone, what is, how I'm speaking, what all kind of emotions are there. Okay. Even if I become a diplomat and speak very nicely, even if I become an expert in communication skills, but what if the tones are not good?
So will you also suggest a businessman or an actor or anyone who has to change their tone or something?
Yes, I work with many businessmen and actors and leaders, but I don't teach them how to change or how to bring some new techniques or how to develop etiquettes. No, that is not area of mine. What I do is I tell them what kind of tones are required for the leadership, what kind of tones are required for the successful businessman, and what all tones are already there in your voice tone that can cause a leakage in your business and leadership style.
Okay.
That is like a great help, because many businessmen, they speak something else and their business is something else. Even for a leader, it is very important. They want to communicate something else, and what they communicate ultimately is totally not in alignment. And that can happen when you become aware of your tone. So it starts with the Nadi Yoga.
I'm feeling all this is like, it's very enriching information, to be very frank, very honest, and definitely we should use it in our daily lives. So I also felt that mother and child, are they both connected with Nada Yoga?
Yes, very much. And since you spoke about mother and child, I would like to tell you, in pertaining to the last question, mother wants to love her child. For example, a child of, say, or teenage child. Okay. She wants to love, right? But you'll find that something else happens. You want to show a concern to your child, but she rebels with your concern. Why? And you feel bad because this is something tone. So what if you understand what kind of tone is required now for my daughter? There will be improvement. Right? So that is what. It is very important for us to understand the tone of voice. And no matter what, how much practice you do, how much diplomat you become to bring a nice tone, that will be fake. It has to come from within. The Nadi Yoga brings the original and genuine voice tone, not the fake voice tone. There are many sales experts. They bring a same tactics in their family and they get failed. Right? It will not work that way. Even there are many communication experts. There are many trainers, many soft skills trainer. Where I used to, one of my students, he was a soft skill trainer, and he said, I teach everyone, but what happens to my own family? How come I'm not successful? because your voice tone. You are trying to fake it. And there is a saying, fake it till you make it. No, it doesn't happen that way. Let it happen within. And how it is going to happen? By working on this, by working on Nad Yoga, automatically the right tone will come, automatically the balance will come internally, the mind, body and soul, and then whatever you will speak, that will be of substance, that will be of significance, great significance to your children, your daughter and for everyone. So that is where today the connection between the relations is not there. The connection between mother-father is not there. The connection between the mother-son is not there. The connection between the boss and subordinate is not there. Because the tones are not appropriate.
There is really a chaos. Like the reels are going on, the social media is super active. Even all the teenage people are completely into that. So in all this chaos, how to find that nada within yourself?
See, basically, the more and more you are exposed to the various sounds, you tend to get lost. And you are lost from your own self and you are thrown in this world. And in this world, there are all kinds of sounds are there. They will misguide you, right?
Yeah.
No matter what you do externally, but if you are connected with yourself and then you do whatever you wish to, it will not hamper you. So the very first thing is connect with your own sound.